If you're joining us here on Goal Africa, you've probably witnessed, like we have, one of the most shocking displays of refereeing ever seen in the Nations Cup. Lorato, I mean, this is one of the most remarkable stories in the Nations Cup that I think I can remember. I've never seen anything like it. We're going to talk about the match. We're going to talk about that ending. I can see you smiling. I don't know why you're smiling. You need to wipe that smile off your face.
I'm not smiling.
This is serious business.
I mean, disbelief. Like, I cannot believe what happened in that match. Literally, the last 5 minutes of that game was
we
just
didn't get the last 5 minutes. I'm still waiting for the last 5 minutes. We didn't see them. Why don't you describe to our viewers what happened? Because I'm lost for words.
It's shocking. Like, nobody saw that coming. No one could have predicted that. Yes, referee tend to make controversial decisions here and there, but that was not on. And he was so eager to end the game.
The referee. In case you didn't see the game, we've got the referee at 89 minutes and 40 seconds deciding to blow the whistle for full time. He didn't even let it get to 90 minutes. He didn't even let it get to forget injury time. Lorato, forget injury time. Forget stoppage time.
Did he not stop it twice? He started in the 85th minute.
Yeah, I thought he seemed to blow the whistle twice.
He was eager. It's like he was eager to end the game. He was in a rush. And after blowing his final whistle in the 89th minute, 11 seconds, somewhere there, he was not bothered. It's like he did nothing wrong.
Well, I'll tell you who
and I understand why the Tunisian... I'm losing you there, Ed.
Tunisia are furious. Did you see the Tunisian reaction at the end when they were all surrounding the ref? They had to bring out a security chain to break them apart.
Rightly so. He had to be protected, because I mean, that was very unfair to Tunisia, and anything could have happened. Not to say I'm condoning violence or we condoning violence, but anything could have happened, considering how the Tunisian team was angry, considering their anger, understandably so, as to why they were furious, because what happened on that pitch does not make sense.
You can see the fury in their
most
eyes.
Embarrassing thing, Ed, is that the world is watching. Remember now, we are the center of attention. You know, many nations have been talking about this from different parts of the world. They've been talking about the Afcon. We've got stars that play in Europe. We've got your Mo Salah, Sadio Mane. Obviously, they have fans all over the world. Now, when they watch and see something like this, it's like, oh, so is this how they do things in Africa? You know, no, we don't need that. That was not supposed to happen.
It's a shame, because you're absolutely right. And Mali, no one's talking about Mali's victory. No one's talking about a decent Mali performance. No one's talking about a game with some action, 2 penalties, a red card. All they're talking about now is this shambolic conclusion where the referee decided it would be a good idea to end the game. But I don't think we can just blame the ref, because refereeing is a team sport. He's got linesmen, he's got a 4th official. Collectively, like, they are making that decision together. And I mean, there's going to be allegations now of corruption. Again, this referee has been accused and acquitted in the past. It's, as you say, a sad story for African football that the attention is on this. We've got TJ Waka Chlongwe. Mr. Ref was tired. It was so hot out there. I don't think this is a time for jokes, to be honest. This is not a time for jokes. It was hot. It was 36 degrees. It was 65% humidity. But this is not a time for jokes. This is, it's amateurish. It's complacent. It's not the kind of headlines we want to be making. Adetola wants to spoil African name. I don't know if he wants to, but certainly this is the kind of thing that get people talking about the Nations Cup as a joke rather than as the serious, high quality competition it is. Izuka Manuel, this ref should be banned. Lorato, what do you think? What do you think the consequences should be for the referee? Let's assume it's an innocent mistake. He's had a bad day at the office. He's got his timings wrong. You know, we've all had trouble reading a clock when we were young. when we were very young. What do you think the punishment should be here? What do you think CAF should do now?
No, look, Sean, this one should definitely not go unpunished. He deserves to be punished, to maybe just be taken out of the competition as soon as today. Yes, referees, like I said earlier on, referees are bound to make mistakes, but not these kind of mistakes, more especially when you are an experienced referee. I mean, I'm pretty certain he's officiated major games and big tournaments. Yes, he doesn't have a good track record from what I've seen. Right after he did that mistake, obviously, if people are going to pull out his history and whatnot, and that counts against him. But for me, I think he should just be taken out of the competition and be investigated. He should be. You see now, this is overlooking Mali's win. It raises the question: is it a fair
Maybe
win?
his wristwatch was bewitched. Anything is possible in Africa. What have I said? This is not the place for jokes. This is not the place for jokes, because this is not a laughing matter, is it?
It certainly isn't. It certainly isn't, Ed. It goes back to, remember during that presser where the Liverpool coach Klopp was misunderstood for his comment on the Afcon. Now people are going to go back to that and misinterpret it and say, actually, Klopp was right. That small tournament in Africa. This is why.
I hope that doesn't happen.
You understand? No, man.
You're right. People are going to start talking about the validity of the competition. They're going to start talking about whether, as a sporting competition, it can be truly taken seriously. And it's a real disaster, to be honest. It's a real disaster that's going to be the narrative moving forward. Balogun, this ref is trash. Keeping it simple. Suzanne, he called for a water break first. He didn't want to check VR for the second penalty. End game at the 85th minute. A weird red card. The red card did seem a bit harsh. Do you think? I mean, his foot was over the ball, but no, you can't really blame for that one. And end the game before 90 minutes. I hope this ends his career. And I don't want to call for anyone to get his career ended, but I can't see this Zambian official getting a big game again. Loretta, what happens next? Kelly Raymond, this match should be replayed. What do you think?
I think it should be investigated. Thorough investigation should take place. I think saying that it should be replayed right at this moment when no investigation has been done is it's just being far-fetched or just being too harsh. I don't know, but once everything has been brought to books and CAF actually do their investigation, then a decision regarding today's match can be taken. But to be fair on Mali, if it was a fair win, then I don't think it should be replayed. And what do you think, Ed? What do you think?
Well, what I understand was that CAF came into the press conference and instructed for the final 4 minutes of the match, the final minute of the match plus stoppage time to be replayed. But that Tunisia seemingly refused that. I could see that kind of thing happening where the teams reconvene in the same situation just to play the end. That happened, for example, at the Wafu Cup when the lights went out, when there was an electrical problem and they weren't able to get to the end. But there's no scenario where Tunisia are going to be happy with this. And that it was only 1-0. If it had been 2-0, okay, there's no chance that Tunisia are going to get back into it or whatever. But at 1-0, imagine if this had been a knockout game. Imagine if this had been a semi-final and this had happened. CAF need to. There's going to be a vacuum now where people are going to be hypothesizing or pontificating on what should happen. CAF need to step into the vacuum, explain what's going to happen to the referee, and explain what's going to happen to the final minutes of this game, because otherwise it risks bringing the whole competition into disrepute. Thank you, all of you, for your comments. A lot of people saying they're embarrassed. I completely understand. A lot of people saying reflects badly on African football, gives African football a bad image.
Can I say something, Ed?
Of course.
Can I say something?
You have the floor.
I think it's high time a new law gets introduced into football. That law being referees answering for themselves. You know, do a post-match interview and explain what was that. I mean, perhaps we could have gotten a clear understanding and indication of what actually that was, and we wouldn't be here. We'd probably be discussing his reasoning for doing that. So I think it's high time referees answer for themselves in front of people, you know, right there, put them on the spot without giving them the chance to go and gather their thoughts. No. What happened today is embarrassing. It's totally, it's unacceptable.
This debate is going to run and run. Please carry on commenting. Let us know your opinions. Let us know what you think should happen next, both to the referee and to the fixture. Keep tuned to Goal Africa handles and our pages to keep in touch with the latest news. I'm sorry this tournament has had to kind of plunge into controversy already so early on. It's sad, again, as we discussed, African football is getting a bad name, getting associated with bad things. But yeah, thank you all for chipping in and for contributing. And let's hope, Lorata, next time we speak, we've got something a bit more positive to talk about.
Absolutely. Hopefully. Thank you, Ed.